Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm YJO, artist, producer, and engineer with Enoch Flow Records. I'm here to talk to you about some of the great services that I offer, ranging all the way from beats, engineering, website creation to graphic design. If you're needing beats, head over to the Enoch Flow Records website, click beats. From there, you can purchase a beat from my store, or if you need a custom beat made, let me know and I will create the vision that God has laid in your heart. All beats are exclusive, so you get MP3, wave, and stems included. If you need a song professionally mixed, mastered, or mixed and mastered, I will be more than happy to bring your song's vision to life. Website creation. If you're needing artwork for a single or album cover, or you're looking for someone to create a website that fits your needs, I'm your guy. Also, if you're needing a hot new lyric video for your new song, let me know and I can get a fresh new lyric video made to your liking. Get all these services and more with YJO Beats. Peace.
Spirit more like a geyser. Wise man, now I'm older. Put your faith in your king.
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem.
FiveTwenty Collective, where music meets ministry and the indie artist takes center stage.
Take a ride through my old town. Old me, old Sean. Might need boats, cry oceans. Here float down my old child. Fear so broke, no hope round here. Been trying to cope since like 01. Better slow down for your cosign. You like ocean.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of the FiveTwenty Collective Podcast here on the Trackstars Podcasting Network. We are in the field, and this is where music meets ministry and the indie artist takes center stage right here on FiveTwenty Collective. You can check us out on social media. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're at FiveTwentyCHH. So make sure you follow us on there and hit us up. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you want to hear some more of. We would greatly appreciate it. Guys, my name is Eric Boston. It's great to be back with you this month. And joining me he's a FiveTwenty staff member. We like to call him FiveTwenty family. He's helping us out as Nate takes a little break this month, celebrating the birthday and all that good stuff that he's doing. But yeah, being joined by my brother, King David the Vessel. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, EB? How you feel?
Man, we are good, man. We are good. Thank you so much for joining us this month on the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah,
pleasure.
Dude. For sure. So, man, let the people know, dude, if they want to hit you up, check out what you got going on, man. Where are they going to do that at?
Man, feel free to reach out to me. Website, yieldedmusic.com. No special spelling. It's yieldedmusic.com. Or check me out online at yieldedman, Twitter, and KD the Vessel. You can find me on Facebook and other spots. So I would love to connect with you guys.
That's what's up, man. If you guys want to hit me up, you can find me on Twitter and on Parler. Both of those, it is at Eric Boston 3, at Eric Boston and the number 3. So make sure you hit us up. We'd love to hear what you got going on for sure. We're super excited because this month's episode is being sponsored by the new single Worldwide Can't Get Tired by our guy Oze, featuring Reach record artist 1K Few. If you guys have not checked out Worldwide Can't Get Tired, go do it right now. It is available across digital retailers, including at FiveTwentyCollective.com. So if you hit up the website, check it out, FiveTwentyCollective.com, find that great single from Oze and 1K Few. It's a banger. And then find out, discover some other new music that maybe you haven't heard. We got lots of great content going up all the time. That's on the newly leveled up FiveTwentyCollective.com. So make sure you check it out. David, man, I know you've checked out Worldwide Can't Get Tired by our guy Oze. What'd you think of the track?
Yeah. Definitely a current vibe. Shout out to Oze and all the hard work that he put in behind that record. Definitely salute to him. He's grinding out. And shout out to 1K on the feature. I think it's a record that a lot of people are going to enjoy. So, man, y'all definitely track that down and take a listen to it. It's doing well out the gate, and we want to continue to support that.
Yeah, man. Of course, and you can't just say, hey, the artist does everything, or the artist in this case on this track, because there's more people involved, right? And with this one, man, Jose put together an all-star team. Obviously, people are going to know the 1K name. People are also going to know Poetics. This is a produced by Poetics beat. And then big shout out to our guy, Calvin, the Food Venus from Tone Crafters. He did the engineering on this track, man, gave it that polish, made it sound real nice and clean. I love what Calvin does, man. And if you guys want to get some awesome engineering, mixing, mastering, all that goes along with that, I cannot recommend anyone higher than I recommend Calvin. So make sure you check it out. And if you tell him FiveTwenty sent you, he might even hook you up with a deal. So if you like how worldwide Can't Get Tired sounds, that's the man to hit up. So yeah, man. And of course, David, this single is another in our FiveTwenty Presents line that we've been rolling out. Super excited to partner up with those. Of course, that's family right there. But we've had a couple other cool things that's dropped, man. Our guy, Zach Minshouse, he's part of a group called BAM, along with Dino Mission, who's a friend of the platform. A few other guys, and they recently dropped the BAM Cypher. And that was part of FiveTwenty Presents as well. And man, dude, it's a throwback to where I think hip hop originated from. I'm not sure if you got a chance to check it out, but it's definitely a dope track.
Yeah, I haven't, honestly, and that's my bad. Shout out to Zach. Definitely a cool brother, man. We had lots of fun, interesting interaction, just in how we get down. As our FiveTwenty family, we stay in constant contact with each other. Just a really good dude, and we talked a lot about the whole BAM setup. I've checked out some of their other work, some of Dino's work. Just, really dope, cutting edge stuff. And so definitely great to be able to support that. FiveTwenty Presents, just an awesome initiative, where we do get to build and partner with other like-minded artists and push out real solid content, into the marketplace.
Yeah, man, you're right with that one, dude. Like we're excited about these releases, and, you talked about the opportunity for us to come along as a platform and partner up with artists that not only do we believe in, but they have quality content to put out there. And so it's exciting opportunities for us as well. Dude, I can tell you this. I'm excited because we are going to be able to partner with you on your upcoming release. I know it's not quite there yet, but, if people don't know, you're an artist as well. You go by King David the Vessel, KD the Vessel. What can you tell us about the release that's you're working on? The new album. What do we need to know there?
Well, honestly, truly humbled and excited for this particular project to fall under the FiveTwenty Presents kind of brand or label, to get that push behind it. This project, Surrender Songs, is the title of it. Definitely fitting and apropos for the days and times we're in, and for kind of the answers and solutions that will help us navigate this time and this space appropriately. So really excited about it. A lot of good content, not necessarily of the popular sight and sound, but again, extremely relevant, and I'm excited to really share with everybody. And again, just get some good, solid, sound, doctrine and real good content, out into the space, man. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man. I think you're downplaying it a little bit, man, because if anyone's heard the single that you dropped, I know you can hear it on FiveTwenty Radio. Shout out to our guy DJ Barrcode. It's in rotation there, man, dude. I told you behind the scenes, dude. I was like, man, if the whole project sounds like this, you've got something on your hands, dude. Why don't you tell them about the single?
Yeah, so we dropped My Words, and we went direct to the internet radio with it. Just been gaining some push, and I'm really appreciative of outlets like FiveTwenty Radio. Again, shout out DJ Barrcode and everybody on the team for really kind of getting behind it. My Words, just really a record that talks about the importance of not wasting our words. And we want to make sure that what we say and what's in our heart, that those things line up so that we can see what it is that God desires to do. So it's a real soulful record, a bit of a different sound, but that's kind of the music, that God has led me to put out. So again, just excited to share it. I love the record. We got a visual coming for that really soon. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, much more to come.
That's what's up. So, yeah, guys, go and check out the newest in the FiveTwenty Presents, I guess just releases, discography. I don't know what you want to call it. We're still trying to figure this out. We just know we want to work with people, and if we can help put a little bit of stuff out, we're going to do it. So definitely check out Worldwide, Oze featuring 1K Few. Check out the BAM Cypher, and then be on the lookout for King David the Vessel, new album, Surrender Songs. It'll be coming. You definitely stick with us here at FiveTwenty Collective. We'll let you know what's up with it. Man, David, again, let them know if they want to follow you and get the latest. Where are they going to do it, man? Where are they going to keep up on this Surrender Songs and support its release?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Facebook, KD The Vessel, Yielded Music Group, my website, yieldedmusic.com, or hit me up on Twitter at Yielded Man. I would love to rap with you.
That's what's up, guys. Again, I am joined this month by King David the Vessel. He is part of the FiveTwenty staff. Excited to be able to chop it up with him. And David, one thing that I always respect and appreciate about you is just your insight, man, into not only what it means to live a life of faith, but looking at the word and unpacking that and thinking about it and looking at it from different angles, man. So I was like, okay, we're getting David on the podcast. We got to have a good devotional discussion, man. Me and Nate usually have this every month. And as I was reading through the devotionals, there was something recently that really stood out, man. I'm like, okay, we got to hear what David has to say about this. So there was a part of the devotional that I was reading through, and it said, obedience without love is religion. Obedience that stems from love is relationship. God favors the latter. Now, I don't know. That's a bold statement, but we've heard that talk about relationship over religion a lot, it feels like. And there's been times where I'm like, man, okay, I get what people are where they're coming from, right? But there's not always maybe a lot of backing behind it, right? Or why do I need to go with you to that point? And as I read this statement, I was like, okay, now I'm feeling like this is a little bit of trending that way, where I'm like, this may be the best kind of representation of that relationship over religion that I've seen to this point. What do you think when you hear a statement like that, man?
Well, a couple of things. I think, in all honesty, the relationship over religion, that whole argument, if you will, or that point, or that vantage point, is probably one of the more poorly articulated arguments when it comes to describing faith and living a lifestyle of faith as a whole. Initially, when I first heard that statement a couple of years ago, I assumed that individuals were speaking of people who were dealing with like religious spirits and things of that nature. So people who, were falsely pious, kind of a pharisaical type deal, where people were just kind of pretending to live the life and not actually living it. But the more that we've kind of delved into that years since that, it's really turned into more of a, I want to have this relationship with God the way that I think it should be done, versus me going to church and me being preached to and someone explaining or leading and guiding me or telling me, what the Bible says and kind of somewhat dictating to me and things of that nature. And what we miss in those situations is that we really need both. And so within the context of that statement that you brought out from that devotional, when we talk about just doing for God, quote unquote, absent or minus love out of that equation, then yeah, it's empty. Scripture bears that out. 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter, Paul talks about, man, if I speak with tongues and I can prophesy and I do all of these things, I give my body to be burned, I give all these sacrifices, but it's done in the absence of love. If I'm not doing it sincerely and genuinely because of the relationship that I have with you, Lord, because I prioritize you, then it doesn't mean anything. So again, it's important, I think, that we make sure that we combine the two, because I need church. I need the fellowship. I need the structure. I need the instruction. But then to take that outside of just simply getting together once or twice or 3 times a week, I need to be able to live this and apply it on a daily basis. So really, that's that relationship. So religion teaches me how to have relationship, and relationship is a result of good religion. And I think that that's where a lot of times we kind of lose sight of that.
All right, man. You know, I'm liking what you're saying there, man. Let me maybe throw this a little bit different at you and see what you think, right? Because I think when you look back at it, if people want to say, hey, at the core, what God desires from us is that relationship, right? I mean, that's why we had to sacrifice, had to have the sacrifice of Jesus, so he could, be able to reunite that relationship, right? We had become separated, and this is what he desired. So this was the only way he could get that back, right? And it's crazy that he wants a relationship with us when we're so just screwed up, right? I mean, even for people who know the word, right? Who know the truth, and yet we do dumb things, man, to like make people seem like we don't, you know? So, and I think we can go to that kind of what people want to label the American Christianity, typical, the way that looks, you know, and it's like, okay, maybe we are living lives that are just more purely out of obedience, right? You got people that are, they're going to church on Sundays. They're going to church on Wednesday nights. They're hosting small groups. They're doing all these things, right? But they're doing it out of obedience, because that's the thing we're supposed to be doing, right? I mean, that's the thing that makes it look like we're walking the walk.
Right.
But then whenever we really start trying to get deeper and drilling that down a little bit more, we realize, man, or even we look at some of the fruit that comes from that. It's like, okay, well maybe that love's not there as much. So, I get what you're saying. I don't know, man. This is a hard one, because I do understand the idea behind this philosophy, if you want to call it that, or just this theory of relationship over religion. Because I think if we have that true relationship, not only with God, it's going to spill over into our relationship with others, which is going to help us, push that further, push that gospel message further, even outside of believers, and go and reach the world, hopefully, with that. And just because, hey, man, I'm cool with you, let's connect, and that relationship reflects that love, right? People have a problem with religion, man. People have a problem because they see it as some rules that we just got to stick to because this is what we got to do, and maybe we don't always see the love aspect of it.
No, I definitely agree with that. So let me see if I can try to simplify what I stated earlier. So that love factor has to be there. Okay, again, without that, it's all pointless. Even having faith, not just faith in God or walking in the faith of Christianity, but having faith to believe God to do certain things, that requires love. Galatians teaches us that faith works by love. Okay, so to your point, and with regards to what you're saying, if I've got pure, real relationship with God through Jesus, with Jesus, and thereby with God, if I've got real relationship, I don't look at religion the same way that the world wants me to look at it. If I've got that real relationship with God, then I'm obeying, like you said, out of love. And so me now going to church, doing these types of things, engaging myself in this type of structure, this lifestyle, this means that I'm doing so as an opportunity versus as an obligation. If I'm just going through the motions, I'm doing this absent of love, I'm doing it. Like you said, sometimes we go through the motions because we think it's what we ought to do. And when we do it that way, when we try to live it that way, one, it's extremely difficult to do. Two, we end up missing out on a lot of what it is that God would desire to share with us and how he would desire to reveal himself to us, because all we see is the obligation. All we see is the schedule. All we see is the set of rules. And we don't even realize, even like with kids with their parents, we don't realize how much safety and protection and love are involved with those quote unquote rules. All we see is what we can and what we can't do. That's what we break it down to. But once we grow and we develop and we get stronger and we mature, we begin to understand, man, those rules are in place not only to keep me, but to bless me, to help me grow, to help me endure, to help me be a blessing to somebody else, to let me know I can't do this, or this will endanger my witness or my testimony, or that I should do this because in doing so, I'm going to make myself available for other people and I'm going to be more like Christ. Like, those are the things a lot of times, again, that having that love factor, it exposes us to, and it allows us to see it for what it really is. And, you know, we look at things, especially present day, everything that's going on, pandemics, etc. And if we just strip this thing down to simply religion being, hey, going to church, following rules, etc., we wonder why there's so much going on in the earth right now. A lot of churches are closed, not going on, and a lot of things, the racial unrest, everything else. It's kind of got those who are professing Christianity opposing the faith that they say that they hold. And you mentioned something.
So let me.
Go ahead.
You just hit something right there, man, that I want to ask you. And I was thinking this as you were talking, but you said the words. So I got to ask. Faith and religion, how closely connected are those two, and which one do we think matters more? Maybe as far as like from God's perspective.
Well, one thing the scripture tells us for sure is that without faith it's impossible to please the Lord. All right? They that come to God must believe that he is, and that he's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. When we talk about religion, religion isn't the dirty word that it's been made out to be, but religion is really how to serve God, or how to have relationship with him, how to live the faith that we say that we have. And so, you know, the faith saves us, okay? But just simply saying to that point, well, I believe in God, doesn't help keep me saved. At that point, I need instruction. I need practical examples. I need people who are tangible examples of how to walk this out and how to live this out. And so, you know, those things, one of the things that we have to understand is that when God puts kind of like concepts and ideas in terms of like doctrine and things of that nature, God never created them to be standalone events or ideas. This stuff has to go hand in hand. So like faith without works is dead. Faith without love isn't faith. All of these types of things, like this stuff was created to work in conjunction and not just to be standalone parts. And when we try to break it down and trump one thing over the other, etc., like I need all of this. And so I think that's a lot of times where we mess up. So faith saves us, but that religion part, that instruction, that insight, that wisdom, that fellowship, that community, I need that so that I grow in that faith.
That's what's up. Guys, I want to hear what you have to say about this. So again, hit us up on social media at FiveTwenty and let us know what you think. Get your voice into the conversation. Or if you want to get your actual voice in the conversation, go to anchor.fm/FiveTwenty-collective. You can leave us a voicemail and we can include that on future episodes. Love to hear what you guys have to say about this topic, because I think it's an important one. So definitely, you know, putting that challenge on you guys. Let us know what you think about it. And David, man, it is time that we hit our featured song this month. It's a cool one, man. It's a guy who's been rocking with us from pretty early on since we started as a platform, man. So he sent this in to us, and it is a Christian hip hop artist by the name of GB. Check him out, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to your music. And we're going to check out the song Unstoppable this month by GB. So let's jump into that right now.
I need a hard drum or guitar strum, a good vibration, good buzz, no libation, no time wasted, that's lightweight. Say on delay and I won't delay muy pronto. I'm on the move like Elway meets OJ, White Bronco. Okay, don't mess around, I might go back to my old ways. I'm better now when I told myself I wouldn't go there, like no way. Problem is when I contradict my own competence, y'all compliments with low confidence. I bring fear around to the here and now, it's kinda complex. Look at all I've accomplished, putting out a few projects. It's like no matter how far I go, I keep going back to this topic. I'm trapped inside my own head now, trying to force my way through these mind tricks. I just need to put my head down, work hard and trust in this timing. I've been way too focused on these limitations. I've been wasting moments off these hesitations. I've been in the process of elimination. I've been trying to take my problems out of this equation. I've been in my own way lately. I'm drowning in my own way. Save me, just tell me I'll be okay, baby, and I won't be afraid no more. Eric told me don't stress it, bro, you got a full plate. Freezy told me, bro, do your thing. Casey told me, bro, you can hang. My wife behind me the entire time, she's so clutch. Somebody tell me if it's only meant to be a hobby, why I care so much. Oh man, here we go again, climbing out of this hole again. Anybody been stressed out to the point you feel the walls closing in? I confide in my closest kin and my closest friends when I notice it. Got me out of my zone, but then I find hope and rest for my soul again. I'm going in like SEAL Team 6. Couple guys I can build a team with. From the bottom rebuild with these bricks. Sorry y'all, but you will be missed. Not really though, it's all part of the deal, I deal with it though. Small part of a real and live video. Hype Williams, throw a little spike in a nice visual, live and direct. Y'all don't hear me though. I've been way too focused on these limitations. I've been wasting moments off these hesitations. I've been in the process of elimination. I've been trying to take my problems out of this equation. I've been in my own way lately. I'm drowning in my own way. Save me, just tell me I'll be okay, baby, and I won't be afraid no more. If you compare yourself against someone else, you might scare yourself. Just be yourself, don't play yourself. It's a long road to prepare yourself. Why you giving people credit? You can never do it just because they said it. Why don't you pursue it? You go out and get it. Bet it's nothing to it, just do it already. You know the devil don't need no more advocates, right? You see what's happening, right? I've been where you been a time or two. Get what you trying to do. This ain't impossible. Here's what you gotta do. You be responsible. You put a stop to whatever's been stopping you. Whatever obstacles holding you hostage, you cannot be stopped. You unstoppable. Nothing's impossible. I've been way too focused on these limitations. I've been wasting moments off these hesitations. I've been in the process of elimination. I've been trying to take my problems out of this equation. I've been in my own way lately. I'm drowning in my own way. Save me, just tell me I'll be okay, baby, and I won't be afraid no more.
It's time for the FiveTwenty podcast song breakdown, sponsored by
Show Me Christ Records.
All right, guys. Again, that was the song "Unstoppable" by GB, and this featured song and this breakdown, this discussion is being brought to you as always by Show Me Christ Records. Show Me Christ Records, St. Louis, Missouri. Hit them up, putting out great stuff. You know, they got artists like Jude. They got playlists, man. If you guys are artists and you want to get put on a playlist, they've got some stuff for you, and it's ones you want to be on. So check them out, showmechristrecords.com. David, man, you are one of the guys. I mean, what you're known for around these parts on FiveTwentyCollective.com is doing some great reviews, man. So I'm very interested to hear how you're verbally going to break down this song, Unstoppable by GB. What'd you think of it?
Absolutely. Actually, I really enjoyed this record. I'm going to be honest with you. I like the content. I like the way that it's engaged. So, you know, I'm really not a fan of like wasted bars or, you know, just kind of entertaining me or trying to, you know, get me to see how talented you are. I like bars with purpose, and I like conversational music that is transparent and kind of addresses, you know, very skillfully a particular topic. And I think GB does that with this record. I love the fact that the actual song isn't built around the word unstoppable. It's kind of like a oxymoron, if you will. The production is dope. I think the mix and the master on it is great. I like the chorus. I understand why he did the chorus the way that he did. Maybe don't like the front end of the chorus as much. Would have liked it to be a little bit more melodic. But again, overall, as a song, as a record, I like it. And again, it's discussed from a practical standpoint. It really just kind of addresses what happens when, as artists, we start to walk by sight instead of walking by faith. And we kind of get in our own heads and we start to doubt what it is that God has called for us to do. So I like how GB addresses that topic with this record.
Yeah, man, I'm there with you, dude. I think GB is one of the more underrated lyricists in this space. I mean, dude's good. Like you say, he's got bars, man. I loved the melody on the hook. I think it sticks with you. It's one of those ones where, like, even if you don't have the words, man, you got that melody, you got that. And the production at first, I was like, okay, it's all right, But dude, the more I listen to it, and then I look at like the cover art for this single, right? I mean, it's super simplistic, but it's got kind of like this underwatery type feel.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh dang, that production really goes along with that, right? It's got this kind of underwater feel to it. I mean, maybe it's just me, but as I really sat there and stopped, I was like, oh, yeah, that is kind of what I'm hearing on this production, So I think he put it together well, man. Like I said, good bars, good solid melody line on the hook. Maybe it could be a little stronger, I guess, but it's, overall, it's good. And the production definitely grows on you as well. So I would say go check it out. Check out some of the other stuff that GB does, guys. He is very solid across the board. Like I said, an artist that people should be watching in this space. So go check it out. Go check out Unstoppable. Again, hit us up. Let us know what you think of this month's featured song at FiveTwentyCHH. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as anchor.fm/FiveTwenty-collective. So, David, man, I appreciate you joining me this month. It's the time of the show where we jump over to our insider interview. And I'm pretty excited for this month because, again, I got the chance to chop it up with one of our own team members in the guy who runs FiveTwenty Radio, and that is DJ Barrcode. So I'm just super excited for people to jump in, check out this interview, learn what's going on at FiveTwenty Radio and with what DJ Barrcode has going on, in addition to the radio station as well, man. So, David, thanks for joining me this month on the podcast, bro. I'm sure we'll get you back on soon.
Man, we'll love it, bro. Thanks for having me, man. God bless.
Yeah, man. So, guys, stick around after this small little break and check out our interview with DJ Barrcode. Hey, guys, what's up? This is Eric with FiveTwenty Collective and the FiveTwenty Collective podcast. I want to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way possible to make a podcast. Let me break it down for you. 1, it's free. That's right. No cost to use Anchor. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. So if you want to get on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and many, many more, then it's really, really easy, guys. You just set up an Anchor account at anchor.fm. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Again, make money, no minimum listeners. You're not going to find that anywhere else. It's everything you need to make a podcast, and it's all in one place. So go right now and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And make sure you let them know you heard it on FiveTwenty Collective podcast. Welcome to this month's Industry Insider interview, brought to you officially by
Bookkeeper247.com.
What's up? Shout out to the Bookkeeper 24/7 for, as always, sponsoring this Industry Insider interview here on the FiveTwenty Collective podcast. Make sure you check them out at thebookkeeper247.com. Lots of great Christian hip hop content and coverage over there. If you are looking for a place where maybe you can get plugged in, I know that they're always looking to add to their team as well. So make sure you hit them up. They have a lot of great opportunities, and if nothing else, just support the hard work that they put in for the culture, for sure. It's the bookkeeper247.com. And joining me right now on the Trackstars Podcasting Network phone line, I am joined by the host of FiveTwenty Radio. He is also a producer, does a lot of really cool stuff, definitely growing within the indie CHH scene. We're glad to have him on here, and he is a FiveTwenty family member as well, so we are definitely excited to talk to my guy DJ Barrcode. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Eric? Glad to be here, and highly favored and blessed, and just looking forward to be a blessing to the Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, like we said, you are definitely a part of the FiveTwenty Collective team. You've been with us pretty much from the get-go, and done a lot of really cool stuff that we definitely want to talk about. Like we said, FiveTwenty Radio, that is kind of your baby. You run with it. So we definitely want to talk about that and just internet radio as a whole. But before we get into that, I want to talk about, because you have a lot of other stuff that you do as well, including production, man. So why don't you talk to us about a little bit of that? What do you have going on? What has this year been like for you as far as, being a producer? It's been a weird year, I know. How has that impacted the production side of things?
Well, my flow's a little off to be on the side of the production stuff. I haven't really done anything on the production side as far as that. I've been working on mostly on the radio station, but I've still done projects, like TC the Collector. We collab on some certain things. I sold a couple of tracks this year. I'm just getting started, really, producing. So I've probably been a producer like 2 years, but I'm mainly a DJ, my first hand. So I'm still learning the gift that I got to produce, in production, mixing, and I got people that I follow and mentor me. So I'm still learning, but I'm hopefully to be able to get some more things out there with other artists. I love to collabo with people. If you got a heart for God, then definitely reach out to me and see what we could do to make something happen for God's glory.
For sure, for sure. How long have you been DJing?
I've been DJing since I was 14. So, and that's, 14, I'm saying half of that is being unsaved. So, I started DJing actually when I was in Germany. I'm a military brat, and my parents was in Germany for like 5 years. And I was actually, I went to a party one night, and I saw a guy DJing, scratching, mixing, and I said, "What is this?" I'd never seen it before. And it was one of my brother's friends. So he asked us if we want to come over and just check out his collection of his mixes and his albums. So we went over to his house after the party, and after that, I was just hooked. I was like, "Man, this is what I want to do." And so after that, we actually came back to the States after our 5 years. And, of course, we was in high school at that time, and a lot of guys that was having house parties. Back then, there was a lot of house parties going on. People, would have house parties on the weekend, and they would just play a boombox or something, and I was like, "You know what? Let me DJ for you." So I became the house name for high school at that time. Anytime that somebody wanted a house party, that would call me and my brother up, and we would actually DJ for them. We did that for several years in high school, and after that, I made a business of it, and I started charging people for weddings. I started, doing birthday parties and house parties, do some events, and I even DJ for Tone. I don't know if you've heard of Tone before, but I DJ for him, opened up for him before. So after getting saved, it was kind of a transition, because when I got saved, it was probably 92. 93, somewhere around that time. And during that time, I'm not sure if you ever heard of Grape Sheet Records. Mm-hmm. There was the time that hip hop the culture was moving over to Christian, to where actually when gospel gangsters got started, and rest in peace, Mr. Solo. But I actually grew up on him, making listen to him, making albums and with the albums that they put out, it was actually something that kept me saved, because I was kind of hesitant to being saved, because I was like, I don't want to put this, stuff that God gives me to do down. I actually, at the time, I threw my music away, my secular music away, and everything at that time. And I had like over 300 or 400 albums I gave away. But then when that transition happened, when Gospel Gangsters came out, it kind of helped me to keep moving forward. And then after that, I didn't get to rap because I wasn't good at rapping. So I started DJing for Christian events, for block parties and churches. And I just grew from there. And then next thing you know, I started, working with artists. I became a manager for a couple of artists. I helped produce some tracks. We did, a couple of events. And then from there, I just kept moving. And now here we are with FiveTwenty.
That's what's up, man. And you also have Barrcode Production. So, talking with a few different people, including like DJ iRod Jesus, it seems like the just the responsibility of the DJ has changed a little bit over time. And it seems like, that production, aligns itself with DJs as well. It's almost like, if you say, hey, I'm a DJ, people just expect you to produce as well at this point. Is that what kind of has led you into, checking out the production side of stuff and really getting that off the ground?
Yeah. So being a DJ is all about mixing and mastering, doing different things, to keep the club hype or the music hype and everything. So, once I, got a status of working with other artists and everything as being a producer, not producer, but a DJ, then I start venturing into, being a producer. And most DJs, if you look at their history, they end up becoming producers because they deal with music, different genres. And, a DJ works with different genres all the time. So you become to where you say, hey, what's this producing stuff? And then you end up getting into, see, okay, what's it about? But what can I do as a DJ? And then mixing, going to a producer. It's kind of the same, but then you have to learn the ins and outs of mixing and mastering, catering to the artist. As a producer, a DJ, you actually just cater to what the crowd wants, but now it's catering to what the artist wants as a producer. So I've learned to, ask guys, what are you looking for? And then studying what their craft is and try to mimic what they're looking for. Now, I specialize in trap beats, but I'm trying to venture in other things as pop music, R&B. I want to even do EDM at some point. So that's one of my goals for this year, is to do an EDM trap, just to branch my horizons and not just stick with one genre. But my goal is always hip hop, but also taking my craft to another level to actually help other artists to try to get the word out of what we're trying to do for God.
Yeah. And if people want to check out what you have going on production-wise, I mean, where do they need to go? Like, do they follow you? Do you have a website for them to check out? What do they need to do?
Yeah, so you can actually check me out on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter under DJ Barrcode, at DJ Barrcode. Also, you could get me at FiveTwenty Radio also. And then also I'm on Facebook. It's at DJ Barrcode as well. And then I also have a production website for selling beats, lease beats, and I sell beats also. It's barcodebeats.com.
All right, and that is Barrcode with 2 R's, so Barrcode. So make sure you go and check it out, man. A lot of great production on there that, take advantage of it. DJ Barrcode, he's one of the up-and-coming guys, and, of course, we love him around here. Like I said, joining me on the Trackstars Podcasting Network phone line, it is DJ Barrcode. And let's talk about FiveTwenty Radio, man. So, you and I, we had a conversation, and, I know you were already dabbling in the internet radio world, checking it out, getting familiar with it, figuring it all out. And I think I can't even remember exactly how it went down, but ultimately it came up with this idea of, well, if we make FiveTwenty Radio, I guess first just start with how did you find yourself wanting to venture into the radio side of things?
Okay, well, I noticed that in the industry, it's very hard for indie artists to get on radio stations. So that was one of my goals of like, hey, how can we get these guys, be promoted, marketing just as well as, the national Christian hip hop artists, because sometimes, the indie artists in the Christian hip hop, they get slept on. People overlook them all the time because they don't have the marketing or the tools to actually get out there. So I think my passion was always to help artists. I love serving others and helping others. I have a gift to help people understand things when they don't understand it. And also a lot of artists was coming to me, when I post on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and say, hey, how do I do this? Or I would get phone calls and say, hey, I want to, start a record label. What do I do? And I would just find myself helping the artists out doing certain things with, different music and different genres, and then also just kind of assisting them to figure out what they need to do and how they need to do. A lot of people, when Spotify, I've been on Spotify for a long time, and I knew how it worked. A lot of artists, they didn't know what to do or how to get on Spotify. There's it's not really advertised how to get on there. So I would help them out. And then when I hooked up with FiveTwenty, it was just kind of like, hey, this probably be a good opportunity for us to help artists in a different way to get them out there. So I started researching, because I didn't know nothing about having a radio station. So, and then we wanted to be a station that's nationwide. We just didn't want to be a local radio station because we need to have a platform. So if anybody listening, Malaysia or France or Germany, it didn't matter. You can listen to, the indie artists at any time you like. So that was one of my things that I really wanted to have in place is a 24/7 indie Christian hip hop indie artist radio station, to where if you're looking for something new, something creative, something different, then you come to our station and listen to a lot of artists that's great, that sounds great, that knows what they're doing, that got good production. And this is just a tool that we decided to put in place to help others to reach the masses that they want to reach. So we do have a following that's across the country. So once we sat down, we figured out how we wanted to do it, and it started out small because I was using it like an app to actually do it first, but then we grew and we started having it nationwide, and then now we probably got over I think it's 200 artists now that's on the station. So it's really growing at this time, and now we have podcasts, we have DJ shows. I mean, it's growing so fast that it's just mind blowing that what God can do for us, and we even see things that's going to happen that we haven't announced yet, but it's definitely going to make a big impact in the artist industry, and it's making a name for ourselves just to have a platform like this, because no one else is helping indie artists like we are. And then also just helping artists that don't know where to go. I mean, a lot of people that come to FiveTwenty and say, well, how do I get my music here, or what I need to do here? And we just very open to them to help them out, to telling them, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you submit. This is what we need from you. And then just helping them out. And they're so grateful that somebody's helping them out, and we're not charging anybody up front to be on our station. So they love that, to where we just helping them out, and then we posting them to advertise, market it for them and stuff, because we love helping the artists or serving artists to get to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think one thing that you kind of hit on there, you're talking about how just the music industry in general has changed, right? Especially with streaming. And I think that has, impacted the radio side as well. So if I'm an indie artist, I might think, hey, I've got to be on Spotify. I've got to be on Apple Music. I've got to get those downloads, those streams, and that's what it's all about. And maybe I'm not thinking about, the opportunity with radio, especially in internet radio, because there's a difference between that and a terrestrial station, that you can tune in like on an FM station or something like that. Kind of explain why it's beneficial if I'm an artist to make sure I'm getting my music to, radio stations as a whole, including those terrestrial stations, but specifically internet stations. Like, what does that do for you?
Well, it gets you nationwide more quicker than a stream would, because if you're streaming, I mean, if you're an independent artist, you have to, a lot of times the artists are doing things themselves. But if you put it on like FiveTwenty we're nationwide. We can hit all states, all countries, 24/7, and versus, and we of course, when we put you on our website, our radio, we tweeting and marketing that say, hey, we just added this artist and that artist, and check out this podcast, and check the new show out. That really helps to push, your status or your streams to get people to come to the streaming platform to check you out. If you're just streaming, I know a lot of artists that, I check out that wants to work with us. I can see like they may have 12 members or 12 monthly subscribers that's following them. But then once they get on our radio station, and then we help them with maybe an album or two or a single or two, the next thing you know, they got 12,000 followers now because they got on a radio station. And I think it's very important because, radio stations, I don't really think it's going to go anywhere because it's needed for all genres. We specialize in Christian hip hop, but at the same time, it's needed for all genres, especially independent artists. They need to find a way to actually not just, focus on streaming. That's it. That's very important. But at the same time, it's another marketing tool that you can use to get your stuff out there and then reach other countries and places that you thought they would never reach it. And sometimes I'll talk to other producers, and I'm on Spotify, but the other producer, he might be on Tidal or something, other streaming platform, but never heard this artist I'm talking about. And then they go to Tidal and they say, well, it's not on Tidal. Oh, say try Spotify, and it's on Spotify. It's not on Spotify. Oh, go to our radio station, you can hear him. And then, of course, you hear it on the radio station. So we got some on the radio station that may only play on SoundCloud, but they are on a radio station. And then, of course, we try to help them to get on Spotify and all the platforms that we have platforms that we can, refer them to. But at the same time, the radio station really helps market and bring more listeners and more fans to the platform, whatever you choose and pick. And we say, hey, somebody reaches out to them, hey, where can I find this guy? Where I can download this guy? Well, we're going to point them to the streaming platforms that you're on. But they came through the radio station because they asked about you, because they heard the radio streaming 24/7. And it might have been 3 o'clock in the morning in America, but it might have been 2 o'clock during the day in Saudi Arabia or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, a very good tool to have in place, not just, focus on streaming.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think another important thing to help these independent artists, you've created this platform, you've created this station that's support, but we also need listeners tuning in to check it out, to help the growth with it and help us do more things and help you continue that mission of 520 radio. So why don't you tell people, where can they tune in? Like, how do they find the station? How do they listen and support?
Okay, well, you can always go to 520collective.com, and there will be a menu at the top where it says radio. You go there, and then it's radio.520collective.com. It's the direct website if you want to just go straight to the radio station. We're always tweeting, songs and podcasts. So if you ever see us posting a song or a podcast, you always can find us on Twitter at 520 Radio. So if you see a tweet, just send us a DM, and we definitely reach out, and we can reach out to you and set something up if you want to actually submit something to us, or you can actually submit something from the website as well anytime you like. And we're taking all submissions at this time.
Okay, cool. And you can also download the His Hop Radio app to listen, isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep, we do have an app with His Hop app. It's a great app that we use. So if you download that and just type in 520, you will find our station on there. And again, we're streaming 24/7 Christian hip hop.
For sure. And then one thing you were talking about, not only is 520 Radio, proud to be, the home of independent Christian hip hop and support those artists, but there's also, like you were stating, a lot of great shows that's a part of the, just a part of the scheduling and stuff on there. Can you give us a rundown? What kind of what shows would listeners be able to check out as they tune in?
Oh, okay, yeah. We have Meech Rio. We got him, his podcast. We got Brinson and his podcast. I think we got like over 10 podcasts right now. It's Mario Live. We got him. We got the weekend radio show on the weekends. Of course, we got all the indie artists that you could think of that's playing 24/7. We say we got Pacquiao. We got I can't remember all of them because so many of them now that I schedule. But we got a lot of shows that each week, and of course we got the 520 podcast that plays at 520 on Wednesdays. Definitely check that out. That's one of the shows that I always listen to and get great information. If you're an artist, you definitely want to check those out as well. But we got the Honest Talk with different interviews with different artists. So if you haven't catch those yet, I definitely want to check those out. Those are great, information that you use. I love hearing what artists how they create themselves and the gifts they're using it to glorify God. It's really interesting to see how they came about, and just to get to know different artists and what they do and their platform and how they got what they are is just interesting to me. Learning how they became what they are, and then as an indie artist, we need to work together or just kind of touch or find out how they created or got to where they were. Because a lot of artists think it's just a success overnight sometimes. But if you see what these interviews that Eric does on the Honest Talk radio show, you definitely find some gems in there when you listen to these shows, because you find out what these artists are about, and you actually get on a personal level of what they're about. It's not just making great music, but it's great artists, great people behind the music that you listen to.
Yeah, man, appreciate that for sure. Definitely check those out. Honest Talk, like you said, 520 Radio. They are the host of our podcast as well, Wednesdays at 520. So a lot of great programming on there. I'm excited that it's a part of this whole platform and able to support. And I think one thing that's really cool, Rod, is that you have a heart for producers as well. I think you're kind of mentioning it that there's some DJ mix shows, but we're really looking at being able to support producers that sometimes don't get the acknowledgement that they necessarily deserve. Kind of give us an idea of, if I'm a producer and I'm like, man, I want more people to know about my beats and my different production, how can I partner up with 520 Radio in order to maybe widen my audience a little bit?
Okay, so we work with DJs and producers. So if you're a DJ and you got a mix show that you want to put out there, we want to promote your mix show and air it on the show 24/7. We got schedules open, so if you're interested in doing a mix show in here, we welcome you with open arms. And also, if you're a producer, we want to help producers help sell their production or their beat. So I'm working on a show that I'm trying to get clarification of how I really want to do it, but I definitely want something that helps artists or producers to get their beats out there to other people. Because I ran into other artists on Twitter and Facebook saying, hey, I'm having trouble selling my beats and whatnot, so we need more platforms. Because a producer is very important too. We always focus on the artist, but when that beat's fire and the artist has the right track and the verse on that beat, I play my beats on the radio show, but I don't sell them. Just kind of give let people listen to them, and then somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, I like that beat I heard on the radio. I'd like to check it out. Well, there's just another platform or a tool that you can get to if you have a radio station that's allowing you to submit just to help you promote, why would you not do it? I mean, it's a great tool to have to get your stuff out there, and this another way that 520 has decided or created something for all producers that's independent that come on our platform to actually grow so we can grow together and give the glory to God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think the ultimate thing that we're trying to say here, guys, is if you care about independent Christian hip hop, support 520 Radio. Whether it's going on and listening to a lot of great music that's being put out, or if it's checking out the different shows, or if you have a show in mind that you want to be able to have out on a radio station somewhere, reach out to DJ Barrcode. You can email him. It is radio@FiveTwentyCollective.com. Like he said, opportunities are there to add more programming, to add more shows, definitely add more music. So make sure if you're an artist that you're hitting up radio.520collective.com and hitting that submission page so you can drop in your newest and get it added into the rotation. But I think it's just, like Rod said, we are talking about some things behind the scenes that I think are going to be exciting. Hopefully some opportunities that's going to present themselves. And so we want you all to be a part of it as we go. Rod, DJ Barrcode, thank you again for taking the time out and joining us on the podcast. Any last things that you want to mention before we jump off here?
Yeah, we're always open to helping artists. So if you're independent artists out there, definitely reach out to us. And I'm always willing to help if you just got or anything like that. I'd like to give you my email address. It's barcodebeats@gmail.com. That's Barcode. And that's bar with 2 R's. It's like my last name, barcodebeats@gmail.com. So if you got any questions or you're not for sure what direction to go with your profession, we're definitely always here to help. So if you want to collab or if you just want to, get some beats or you don't know where to go to get beats, I'm very open to help anyone that that needs help.
Awesome. That's what's up. Make sure you guys hit them up and support 520 Radio with DJ Barrcode. Man, thank you again for jumping on here with us, man. We want to give another shout out to the bookkeeper247.com for sponsoring this interview. We want to give a shout out to the rest of our episode sponsors. Thank you for tuning in to the 520 Collective podcast on the Trackstars Podcast Network, and we will see you all on the next pod.